Hey guys, thanks for coming to hang out here on the sessions. A friendly reminder that you can hang out with me in more than one place because I'm also on AMP. Just download the app, come hang out with us Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Just get a little more sessions in your life. We all need it. All right, guys, we've got Action Andretti here on the show. I'm very excited to have you on. Since your debut in AEW, I have been a very avid fan of yours. I love nothing more than seeing somebody get a really great opportunity and knock it out of the park. And that's absolutely what you've been doing, which blows my mind because I don't know very much about you. We're going to learn more about you today. You've not been wrestling for very long.
No, not too long. 4 years. 4 years it's been.
But 4 years to yes, 4 years, you're young, you're accumulating these years under your belt, you're figuring it out. But to have 4 years in your debut match that you have this amazing, incredible upset of the decade over Chris Jericho. I feel like a lot of people would have been truly shitting their little pants during that. How did you feel during that moment? Let's start there. The match with Chris Jericho that really put you on the map.
Yeah. Where to even begin with that? Just the emotions that were there, just the opportunity I was given, and just knowing that I had to crush it, like you said, knock it out the ballpark. Was definitely holding back the shitting in my pants. No, I'm kidding. No, but there was a lot of nerves going into that. It's a big test, and you got to make the most out of it. And just to have an opportunity like that, it's crazy to me. And I'm very grateful that Tony gave me that opportunity to even step in the ring with Jericho to begin with, and him believe in me to just go out there, and then let alone me go out there and then get the victory over him. It was an insane feeling. That crowd in Texas was crazy.
Yes.
I again thank those fans in Texas because they really made that moment special for me. And
They were
it was
cheering for
just
you. So I did not know who you were. I'm watching at talent viewing and I'm like, you had a roll up, just a small package. And I was like, wow, that was really close. What's happening in this match? And I was sitting next to Mark Henry. And yeah, we're both just intently watching this match. I'm like, is this kid going over? What is happening right now? But the crowd was cheering for you like you were their hometown hero. The crowd was
yeah.
behind you instantly. What did that feel like to just have that experience of really feeling that swell of affection towards you during the match?
It's cool because it's not something I'm used to, having that many people be behind me like that. I'm
Yeah.
used to having smaller crowds, and I feel like when I would work on smaller crowds, I would be able to get the people behind me and stuff, get them to cheer for me. But to have a stadium like that packed out and having those that many people there cheering for me,
Mm-hmm.
it was crazy. I was like, does it usually sound this loud in there, or was that just me? Because I'm new to this whole thing. It was very loud, and it was cool. But
It was
yeah,
so crazy.
to have all those people there, have my back and not really know who I am and still be cheering for me like that. It's like
Because they were
I was
calling
doing.
you Jobber at one point, right? Let's go, Jobber, because nobody knew who you were. But this was such a star making moment for you that, at first, I'm like, wow, they really have a lot of time during this match, too. But you looked smooth as all hell. You looked like you belonged there. You went toe to toe with Chris Jericho, one of the best to ever lace up a pair of fucking boots. And you went out
Yeah.
there and just looked like $1,000,000. What was it like working with Chris? What was your time kind of leading up to that? Conversations maybe you had with Chris or with Tony kind of going into that?
Well, I didn't really know what I was doing when I went out to Texas. I wrestled my match with QT
Mm-hmm.
in DC, and it was kind of the same thing, just having that crowd behind me. It was on a dark match, so it was a little bit different of a level,
Yeah.
being on live TV and just knowing that, and being on a dark match. There's a little bit more pressure going into a match on
Sure.
Dynamite live, but yeah, it was just when I saw the announcement there was an announcement that Chris Jericho would be live in action, I was just like, if there's any way that I got put in this situation where I went out there with him, that would just be an insane game changing thing for me. Like
Yes.
I saw that and I was just like, wow, what if that's me? Like what if there's a possibility that that could be me going out there? And I flew out there the night before the show, just very new to me. My first time getting a flight for any wrestling show. I've never been on a plane, caught a flight to like go to any show. So
Yeah.
flying has been very new to me. Starting to get the hang of
Welcome.
that.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckling up. Hey, yeah, but yeah, it was just when I found out I was gonna be wrestling him, I was just like, wow, like this is gonna happen tonight. Like I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna get a chance on Dynamite. Like I gotta look my freaking best out there.
Yeah.
And when I found out, like it was gonna be like a legit match. I'm not just gonna go out there and get squashed. Like you're gonna be able to go and like showcase yourself and show what you can do in that ring. It was crazy. I couldn't believe I had the chance to wrestle Chris Jericho. Like this is just me. I'm just a kid on the indies, just have been grinding the past 4 years. And now
Hmm.
I just, you know, I get an opportunity to show like what all the hard work that I've been putting in
Yeah.
and, have it pay off. So it was an incredible opportunity. And I'm just very thankful that Tony gave me that chance to go out there. And I'm very glad that I went out there and made the magic that happened. And here we are now.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm glad that that opportunity happened, but I'm glad that you were able to like really hone in on what you were doing, understand the task at hand and how important it was to like execute the things that you've accumulated over these 4 years and fucking kill it. And it is so different doing an indie show versus coming out. And now you've got TV, you've got hard cameras, you've got different times, you've got all of these different things to be thinking about. And you really just looked like you belonged out there. Like, I feel like I was like watching and I'm like, I was pumped for you. I'm like, oh my God, look at him go. That's why, like, immediately after I went and I saw Tony and I was like, who's interviewing this kid right after? I need to talk to him. This needs to
Yeah.
happen. We need to have the follow through. But that was just like another sort of like cherry on top of it all was that I grabbed you and I was like, let's just do a quick interview. And like your promo skills were down, you were ready to go, dude. Like you were like the build a wrestler come to life and it's working out. So let's get into some of the background and like where you come from, how you got into wrestling and how you got to be so damn good in such a short amount of time. Where did it all start?
I'm semi good. I don't know about so good. I'm getting there though. The skills are coming in. But seriously though, before I even answer that, I just want to say thank you for saying that because I know you've seen a lot of wrestling over the years, and for you to compliment me and my work like that, that really does mean a lot. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for saying that,
absolutely.
Renee.
No, I
Yeah.
just love seeing people work hard. And then like, I mean, I was just interviewing Willow before you jumped on here. We were talking about how difficult it can be to like really step up to the plate sometimes and like not get in your own way and have an opportunity and like really seize it and make the most of it. Cause it just doesn't work that way. And learning kind of on the fly during TV, like, yeah, you're right. You do some dark matches first. You do X, Y, and Z to kind of get ready for those moments. But to have, what did you guys have for that match? Like 15 minutes, something like that. Like you had a good amount of time,
Yeah.
to like really showcase yourself, get over who you are, some of your moves, all that. But then for you to actually get that win, I mean, I know everyone was making that comparison of the 1, 2, 3 kid and Razor Ramon. But
Yeah. Yeah.
anyways, okay. So before we get into more of your history, but like immediately after when you came back through the curtain, what were some of the conversations you're having with Tony and with Chris?
I told Tony he was very happy with the match, just very, very fired up, which I love to see. Like
Yeah.
when I
Let's
see him
fucking
fired up,
go.
let's fucking go. That fires me up. That fires me up so much. I love it. And yeah, Chris was just, he was very happy with how it came out. And I was just very, very happy that those guys believed in me and just very, very grateful that they gave me an opportunity and they trusted me out there to, go out and perform to the level that they thought I was going to. And yeah, it was really cool. Chris was very
Yeah.
happy, and to make those guys happy, it knows like it makes me know that I'm doing something right, and
Mhm.
it's a good feeling, really good feeling to make those guys like proud of me.
I feel like Chris can be like such a perfectionist. I mean, you talk about people who have seen it all and done it all. I mean, he's the guy. He's literally like that measuring stick, I think, for just about anybody to look at their career. I mean, you look at somebody that's been able to reinvent himself so many different times, a guy that's just
Yeah.
going out and still having like these banger matches. He's always just so creative the way he thinks about things. So I think for anybody to be able to work with him and learn, be under that learning tree of Chris Jericho is really, really cool. And then you get signed. Now you're signed to
Yeah.
AEW. You are all
Yep.
elite. It's official. Now you've got all sorts of planes to catch. Get
Yeah.
those frequent
Heck yeah.
flyer miles up there. Okay,
Yes.
so yeah. So the first time you step into a wrestling ring, where is it? What happened? What brought you there? How'd you get there?
So I remember just Googling wrestling schools near me. Like I knew I gotta get into this business. I knew it was something I could do.
Who were
I
your
didn't really,
guys? Who were you looking to that you were like, that's what made you want to be a wrestler?
oh, there's so many, but Mysterio is a big one. Jeff Hardy's a big one. AJ Styles, guys who have that same style, like, and just, yeah, those are guys who definitely influenced me in the
Yeah.
ring. And yeah, the Hardy Boys, I was a huge fan as a kid. I would always have my Jeff armbands on and stuff.
Do you
Yeah,
do the dance? I'm not going to do it. I just want to.
of course. I'll hit it real quick. But
you can do it for us. We'll go big screen on you. We'll minimize me. Go for it.
yeah, I'll stand up on the chair and everything. Don't get me started.
Oh no! Oh no!
Cue the music.
The best.
But yeah. So I typed in wrestling schools near me. I saw one. It was like an hour and a half drive for me. I took the drive. I showed up, walked through the doors, and I saw the inside of the wrestling school. I saw a bunch of big beefy guys, and I was like, dang, I got to start really working out because these guys are legit. They're not no normal scrubs. But I walked up to one of the guys, told him I wanted to sign up, and they were actually setting up for a show that night for the weekend when I got there because I was gonna go like watch a practice, but they weren't practicing. They were just setting up the ring for the show and the chairs and all that stuff. And then one of my coaches who goes by the name of the Bruiser, who unfortunately passed away a year or two ago.
Oh,
so
sorry to hear that.
he died from cancer. So it's upset. It was really upsetting for me, but I know I'm making him really proud now. So and it's cool to even just think about on this story. Like the first day I met him, he just handed me 2 tickets to the show, said you can bring a friend or just come by yourself, whatever, come check it out. And I drove back there that same weekend, watched the whole show, and I was like, I knew I just had to be a part of this. Like I wanted to be a part. And then I started class a few weeks after that, and not very much not what I was expecting it to be. I had a pretty big class. I think there was like 20 to 30 kids in my class.
Wow.
It was a really big group of kids that I started
How many
out with.
were there by the end though? Did everybody stick around or people go, ooh, maybe this isn't for me? 2. Stop.
Two.
There was only 2
swear,
left.
Yep. As far as yep. I think there's 2 of us left that are still, or like 2 more, including me. So 3 altogether. But yeah, a lot of people come and go. It's crazy.
Right.
They just,
no doubt.
Yeah.
What was your parents' reaction when you wanted to get into wrestling? Were they all for it? Were they a little on the fence? Did they know much about it?
So I actually my first day of training was on my mom's birthday.
Okay.
So I had to say like, hey mom, like I can't be here for your birthday this year because I'm gonna be starting wrestling school. And she definitely looked at me crazy. She definitely was not expecting me or like knew that it was like a big interest of mine to start this.
Yeah.
Because I was working several different jobs. Like I had a lot of jobs before, doing wrestling, and none of them were, anything that you would think, all right, I'm just gonna one day start this. So she was definitely a little thrown off, like, you're doing what? You're going where? Like, you like this? You still like this stuff? Like I thought you grew out of that.
Yeah.
But ever since I started like working on independent shows and whatnot, she would always come out to them and watch them and show me very much support. She's a big Action Andretti fan, to be honest.
She should be. Get the merch, get the t-shirt, get the action figure, get it all.
Oh, she's hooked up with the merch for sure. She's got it.
Oh, that's so funny. What do your parents do?
Um, my mom, she works with kids who have special needs with like
Okay.
autism and stuff like that.
Okay.
And yeah, unfortunately, my father passed away when I was younger, so I
Oh,
grew up. Yeah, I grew up with a single mom, so it's even cooler to be able to like have her see what I'm doing and make her proud. Like
yeah.
raising me raising me as a single mom, and eventually like I'll be able to really help her out financially and stuff.
No
Hopefully,
doubt. Do you have
so
siblings?
yeah, I got a brother and sister.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, older sister, younger brother. I still live with them both, and all of them, they all like watch the shows together when I'm on Dynamite and stuff, and
Yeah. Oh,
they
that's the
all
best.
yeah,
Uh,
it's cool.
I always feel like
Sorry,
that, like being raised by like a single parent and like kind of seeing like that struggle and seeing how your parents like pull it together. I feel like that definitely sort of like shapes somebody pretty early on to,
yeah,
I mean, I
absolutely.
imagine getting like that work ethic to see your mom like hustling and doing it all. And like you said, you had so many different jobs before getting into professional wrestling. What were some of those jobs?
Oh man. So yeah, I've done a bunch. When I graduated, yeah, I just went right to working. I didn't even have a car yet, so I decided I wanted to become a barber. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I was cutting hair for a little bit. Just because I graduated school, like all my friends went to college, and I was like, what the hell do I do with my life now? Like, all I knew was sports, like high school sports. That's all I did. And
What were your
you know,
sports?
I did football and wrestling in high school. Those are like my main two. But like throughout my whole life, I played soccer, I did track, I did basketball. Like I tried to get into everything that I
Yeah.
could. Like like fall, winter, and spring. Like play a sport all year round, basically. Just
Yeah.
keep me busy. I didn't like to come home after school and not have like and just like hang out at the house. Or I never like worked a job in high school because I would always have sports to like
Yeah.
attend
Did
to
that
attend.
keep
But
you out of a lot of trouble playing a lot of
oh
sports?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that was a big
Yeah.
part of it because I sometimes I like trouble and
What kind of trouble do you get into? Were you driving your mom a
oh
little
I,
bit crazy at times?
oh yeah, definitely. She could tell you some stories, but yeah, no, it's definitely something to keep you out of trouble, and I think that like it really did help me like stay out of trouble. And I think a lot of kids that are in high school really should like get into any sports that they can because it'll change you as a person. Like
Yeah.
just it's good for you to stay active and whatnot, but it can also like playing a sport like football and you like really witness having that brotherhood within your
Hmm.
teammates. Like I'll never forget those moments that I had with my guys on the football team. Like
Yeah.
those will live with me forever.
I think about that all. I mean, I played a ton of sports growing up too, and now having a daughter, I'm like, her ass is going in all of it. She can play all of the sports. I feel like that definitely is like, yeah, either even if you're doing like a solo sport, learning like some self-discipline, learning to show up to things on time, putting in like that practice, but then even when you're working
Yeah.
like on a team and yeah, all of like pretty much all of my like teen memories are playing sports with like my girlfriends and stuff.
Oh
10 out
yeah.
of 10. Do recommend. Okay, so you're playing lots of sports. You're in high school, you get out, you go to work, you're going to be a barber. What else were you doing? What were you doing to kind of stay afloat, to stay busy while you're figuring out where you
So
wanted to land?
so even before I was a barber, like just to save up money to get a car, like I worked for like just some like well drilling company. And once I saved up enough money to buy a car, I quit that and then I went to barber school. I was doing barber school and I worked in like a actual barber shop for like a year or two. And then I knew it wasn't for me. I was like, I can't just sit here and just do this all day.
Yeah.
And so then man, I did a bunch. I worked in restaurants. I was a Amazon Prime delivery guy for like a
Oh,
month.
get those steps
Oh,
in, I bet.
oh my God. That was probably my least favorite that I did. I
Really?
worked
Sometimes
in
I see them during the day and I'm like, I think I could do that. Zone out all
um
day, listen to some podcasts.
that
No.
yeah. I did tree work. I was like on a little job where we would cut trees for a while and just throw them in a chipper, and that would get me in shape for sure. But
Sure. Sure.
yeah, I
Okay, so
was
when
just
you
doing what.
while you're doing all of these things, where like was it always kind of nagging in like the back of your head that you're like, I really want to be a professional wrestler? And like coming from a family where your mom's working with special needs children, you weren't in a family of performers, so to speak. So like where did that come from of like, I'm going to pursue this? It's in me. I need to go scratch this itch.
I always knew I wanted to be an entertainer in some type of way. Like I want to just I knew that I could entertain people. I didn't know it was like exactly how, like until I obviously discovered I wanted to be a professional wrestler. But like in high school, like I always like pictured myself as, a guy who could like somehow, some way make it on the TV and just be able to like have a crowd of people and entertain them, whether I'm breakdancing for them, I'm wrestling for them, I'm acting, whatever. Like I always had like a little bit of like a feeling in my heart, like I could do something to, to be an entertainer in any type of way. But even when I was working those jobs, like in wrestling school, I would always like make sure I had off like Tuesdays and Thursdays so I could go to like practice. And I just knew like one day, all right, I'm gonna be able to quit these jobs and just hopefully, like, it might be 2 years, it might be 10, but one day I'm not gonna have to clock in and do these stupid
Yeah.
jobs I have to do and just be able to full-time wrestle. But
God,
oh
I
man, it
so remember like feeling that same way when I was like, I'm gonna be off doing something better than what I'm doing right now. Like I always just had those like kind of like stars in my eyes, doing like, yeah, waitressing, auditioning for like, whatever commercial was coming through town, whatever. But it's so funny thinking back to like those. I was the shittiest waitress because I fucking hated it. I just wanted
yeah.
to like get on with life and get to like this point. I remember I was like trying to get a job at like this national television station in Toronto, and I was waitressing at the time, and they're like, they're not gonna fucking hire you. It's not happening. I was like, I'm telling you, I think that they are. With the day that I went in there and got to hand, I'm like, I'm not coming back. I got the job. I'm out of here. Like it was just such a like sense of relief to be able to like actually follow through on that, go work on my like actual television job. It was such a big feeling for me. Do you remember being able to like hand in your resignation? You're like, I'm doing it. Here I am.
It's a damn good feeling.
Yes.
I remember it. I remember it because it was just a month ago. I
That's so
remember it.
crazy. Oh my gosh. What a
Yeah, I'm when I'm at TV tapings, I'm really like, wow, like, usually I would be setting my alarm to wake up at, 6:30 in the morning and put on my stupid tree work outfit and come home all dirty and have to shower off. And it's just like I get to wake up tomorrow and wrestle in front of all these people. It is a blessing. It feels so cool. And it's a damn good feeling knowing that.
So, what does your week look like now? This is also brand new to you of not having to clock in and clock out. You're not working with trees. You're kind of living, I'm not going to say the lap of luxury, but when you're used to grinding it out like that, it feels like that. You get to take a nap if you feel like it right now. You're kind of figuring out what your schedule looks like. How have you adjusted to that?
It's been a very good adjustment because, like you said, I can just whatever I feel like doing, I can do. If I want to, study wrestling film for 2 hours, I can do that. If I want to go work out at the gym for an hour or two, I can do that.
Yeah.
I try to like still definitely keep myself busy and just like, you know, I with a couple of my friends, like we like go to this gym and we play basketball, and that keeps me in hella good shape because we're just running like all over
Yeah.
the place, and it's better than just like running on a treadmill or doing any type of cardio in the gym. It's the same way with like wrestling training. Like I'd rather just get my
Yeah.
cardio in, like moving around in the ring and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been nice to just hang out and then back on the road on Tuesday again, and then
Yeah.
come home, and it's just like, well, we're home now. Like it's back to normal life.
Yeah.
It's
It's
it's really
really
cool.
funny, like finding yourself with like more time on your hands. And I guess, do you feel like more of a professional wrestler now than you did prior to signing with AEW?
In what aspect? would you
In the
say?
sense that I guess like now when you have downtime, are you like, okay, now like I'm there, I've signed the contract, my downtime, does it mean like, do you feel like now I have to go to the gym more? I've got to be studying tape more. I've got to be, reviewing my own tape more. Like, do you feel more of that pressure to like really step into that role?
Not too much more because I feel like it's what I was doing anyways.
Yeah.
Like before getting signed, like it's no different than the same routine I was doing with because like I was super hungry for this, so I was
Yeah.
like making sure I was still watching the tape and going to the gym. Like even with having a work schedule still like I had, like I was still like in like really grinding and putting my time into wrestling because
Yeah.
you get out of it what you put into it, and if you're not putting in time and effort into this, you're not going to get much
Sure.
out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It's just nice to be able to like not get off of a shift of work and then have to double down. You're doing two jobs. You're working two jobs and now you're there. You get the one job and you can just focus on that one thing. God, that makes me
Yeah.
feel like I can breathe for you. That's really
Oh,
nice. That's
let's breathe
real nice. Let's
let's breathe
take a
together.
breath together. Inhale the good, exhale the bad. What's the first thing you bought with your first AEW paycheck?
um I didn't really like buy much yet. I don't know, nothing really. I bought
Nothing
car parts
crazy.
for my car that need. I bought car parts for my car that needs fixed. Get taking my
You're doing
taking
the
my car to.
necessities first. Get what you needed to do before, and we'll buy something nice
Yeah,
later.
yeah. It was just Christmas, so I got like a nice. I asked for some like nice pairs of shoes, and I got some nice outfits. I got this hoodie right here. That's pretty nice.
It's
So
nice. It's a nice hoodie.
hey,
Looking
thank
good.
you.
Looking good,
Yeah,
feeling good.
yeah.
What was your mom's reaction when she found out that you had signed?
Um. So my mom actually flew out to Texas and watched my match live with
Oh,
Jericho.
that's awesome.
Yeah, she got to see that live. Like she was there for that. So that is so cool that she got
Yeah.
to witness that. But she was so proud of me. So like when I wrestled against QT, I got offered like the first deal that they offer you.
Yeah.
And I just got to come home the next day and say like, "Hey mom, like your son signed a contract with AEW. Like I did it yesterday. Like I'm
Yay.
in there now." And she just was like just mind blown, like, oh my gosh, what? You did what? Like super, super proud of me, just she wanted to go on the phone, call everybody. She's one of those people that just,
Yeah.
I gotta call somebody. I gotta tell somebody.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a bit too much, but she was very, very excited for me. And it was cool to see her reaction off of that. Like it almost, made me a little emotional seeing her get like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet. Um, yeah, I mean, what a cool moment. You seem to me like one of those guys, as much as I've known you for 2 seconds, but I feel like just kind of like observing the way that you are in the moment that you're in. I feel like you're one of those guys that kind of wants to do it all. Do you want to do a little bit of everything? Like you obviously you're a wrestler first and foremost, but do you have aspirations of like doing movies, doing television, doing some of those things out like in the rest of the entertainment world?
Yeah, for sure. When the time is right, I would love to, get out there and get into any type of like TV, whether it's like acting in movies or just on a TV show or whatever it may
Yeah.
be, a little commercial here and there. But
Yeah.
yeah, that would be a very big thing for me if I would be able to do that. I know a lot of other wrestlers have had the opportunities to go out into that world after their careers in
Yeah.
wrestling. So like a couple of years from now, I got, a chance to be in any type of TV, I would definitely go for that. Most
Hell yeah.
definitely.
Why not?
Yeah.
Might as
Yeah.
well. Okay, so you are watching people's tape. You're kind of honing in. I mean, I feel like you've got your craft in a pretty good sweet spot right now. But what are you watching? Who are the people? I mean, you've rattled off some of the guys that kind of got you in the game that you've looked up to, but on like a weekly basis, who are kind of the guys' work that you are keeping tabs on?
I watch so much of everything. Like sometimes I'll just go back and I watch the AEW shows
Mm-hmm.
or or I'll just go back and I'll watch old episodes of like SmackDown from like the early 2000s, like excuse me, like the times when I would watch as a kid,
Yeah.
what made me a fan when I was watching. Like I would go back and sometimes I'll just watch a whole episode or every now and then I'll go back and watch like a really good takeover match.
Yeah.
Um Yeah. Every now and then I'll go back, and I'm not like huge on like the 80s and 90s wrestling as much as I should be. I still love it. Like I love Ric Flair stuff. He's one of my favorites to watch. He's
Mhm.
just so entertaining. And yeah, I'm definitely a little bit of everywhere, whether I'm on Peacock or just watching, the TBS app on AEW or just on YouTube checking some stuff out. It varies from a lot of stuff.
A little bit of everything. What are some of the things that you want to do with your career? I mean, you have that real, like, kind of like high flying style. Are there different styles that you kind of want to tap into, or different like opponents that you kind of want to be facing? How do you see that going if you were able to just book the rest of your career?
Yeah, I love high flying wrestling. It's like something I'm such a huge fan of. Like I just think it's so cool. Like when guys like really have athleticism like that, and
Hmm.
just there's so many different things that you can do with wrestling with the ropes and just moves, and it's like some of the things I've seen guys do. It's just like,
Blows
where
my
do people
mind.
come up with this stuff?
It's
Like, where do you
crazy.
come up with this?
I
Yeah,
know.
and
It is
and there's
nuts.
just yeah, and there's just so much to do. But I definitely do love like heavy, like striking, just like brawling style, like just laying them in there type style.
Hmm.
It's definitely one I would like to like better myself at a little bit as well. I think I throw a decent chop and
We love a good
some
chop.
decent. Oh heck yeah! Woo! I throw some decent European uppercuts. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you
yeah,
think that you could rival a Claudio Castagnoli European uppercut? Because I think he's got the best one in the game. No.
no, uh, I
No.
won't. I won't even act like that for a
I mean, his
second.
are top tier. They are top tier. They're very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Um,
He's
okay, outside of wrestling, who are you outside of wrestling? What do you do? What do you watch? What are you listening to? Like what's your deal? Who are you as a person? That's a pretty loaded question, but we'll unpeel the
yeah.
layers a little bit.
I am very much into music. I was before we even got on here. I was literally just like sitting down in my room, just jamming out to different stuff. And I love to dance. I like going out with my friends every now and then, having a good time with them. And I definitely just like to get out the house and do stuff. I don't like really sitting around. Every
You're
now every
antsy.
a little bit. Like like I'll still like stay in, every now and then. And I'm not like a huge video gamer, but I definitely love like just getting like a group of friends together and having like a Madden tournament, or
Okay.
you know, or playing like a little bit of Call of Duty. But I'm not sitting there with the headset on. Like my brother, I'll hear him yelling at his TV all the time. I'm like I'm like that can never be me. Like I don't know. Maybe never say never, but I see some of these kids playing their games and they have their headsets on and they're just screaming at the TV, and I'm like, or at their
It's
friends they're talking
crazy.
to.
It is
Yeah, that's
crazy, but it's also like your brother's younger than you.
yeah, he's younger. Yeah, so
It's like that generational thing where I feel like, I mean, you're much younger than me, but still, even like younger than you, there's like that different social aspect where, like, instead of kids going out and like playing and hanging out with each other, they are on like that's how they socialize with each other. It's crazy. It blows my mind.
you see kids at restaurants and they can't sit there without using their iPad.
I
Like
know.
they have to be on their iPad or they're not going to sit there and be quiet. Like
It is
it's
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's different times. Like all the kids now, they're playing video games or they're on their iPads playing games. Like when I was a kid, I grew up in a neighborhood that had like a bunch of kids in it, and we would all be outside. Like we would all play like a huge game of tag or just be
Hell
on like
yeah.
yeah, like just like a huge group of us, and it would just like it would be so much fun. And now like you don't see that too much. Like
No, everyone's kind of
it's
like in their own little bubble. I know it is a little bit. It's stressful. Having a kid, it makes it stressful. I'm like, "Oh my God, what's going to be like when you're a teenager? Like what is the world going to look like?" It is really crazy.
yeah.
When you are getting on a plane, what are you loading your phone up with? Is it music? Is it shows? Are you binging anything? What's like what's in your world right now?
Man, so I've been flying American the past few weeks, and you have to pay $15 per hour for Wi-Fi. Isn't that
I
something?
know, they're crooks.
I spent like $45 to it because I was watching wrestling. I just kept buying it again, and I'm like, damn, I just spent almost $50 on Wi-Fi, like
I
because I just kept
know.
my time ran out, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna just get it again. Like I'm bored because like they like you can watch like free movies, so I've been
Yeah.
doing that a little bit. Like they have like the free movie section you can watch. Like you don't have to pay for the Wi-Fi. So
Yeah.
I've been having the chance to watch like a good amount of movies on there.
Okay.
But I
What
I
are your
definitely
movies? What have you been watching?
man, I watched Spider-Man the one time. I don't even remember what the one was called I watched the other day, but it was about this guy that was like kidnapping kids in a black van with
Oh
black
my.
balloons.
Oh, oh,
Uh,
not the black phone. Was it that one? Did he have a black balloon
it
in
might,
that?
yeah. He had the phone that was ringing. That's probably
Yeah,
it.
that was a good
Yeah,
movie.
it was good. Yeah, it made me feel some type of way. Like the dad was like whooping the daughter's ass with the belt and stuff, like very, very intensely. Is that the one?
I think that's the same one. Yeah. Yeah. Very aggressive.
Yeah.
I just the other day I was flying home and I was watching this movie. Spoiler alert. Oh, I had to shut it off about 3 times because I was like ugly crying on the plane. It was like a 5:30 in the morning flight to, and I'm like, I need to calm down here for a minute.
Yeah,
When was the last time you had a good cry?
man.
That's such a random question. But it was
I
embarrassing for me. Samoa Joe's sitting behind me. And I'm like, is he watching what I'm watching? Is he seeing that I'm crying right now? I mean, I know Joe would appreciate it, but yeah, there was a lot of people on my flight that was like, I kind of need to get my shit together a little bit. Like the other day I made John watch, he had never seen the movie My Girl. So I was like, yeah, let's put on My Girl. And same thing, I'm like, tear that movie makes me cry every single time. Anyways, it's good to let the emotions out. Let them out.
It is. Yeah, it is sometimes. No, I think my eyes definitely sweat a little
Mm.
bit after the Jericho match. They definitely were
Oh, good.
a little bit of sweating coming out. I was a little,
Uh-huh.
I wasn't crying, but
No, no, no.
my eyes were just sweating a little bit.
Someone was
But
cutting some onions around you.
yeah, yeah, stop chopping those onions, damn it. But
Good. I'm glad that you got to like appreciate that moment and that it was like, it really felt like such a very special moment. You're right. I have been able to see so many different wrestling matches, different moments and whatnot, through my career in professional wrestling, but it really did feel like it was such a special moment. It's really fun too. And obviously you wouldn't know this because you're out there, but when everyone's kind of gathered around talent viewing and everyone's looking at the TV, and there was just a really funny energy where people were like, what is happening right now? What is this match? No one knew that you were going to be going over in that match. Like it really was just so cool. So I'm glad that you got to like really soak that up and feel that moment was special.
oh yeah, all the way I did. And I know
Mhm.
I know what you mean when you say like, having everybody group around like that. Like I've seen it, and I love seeing it as well. Like when you can get the guys in the back, the guys and the girls
Yes.
in the back, when you
Yeah,
can fire them up, oh man, like you're doing something right. And
sure.
for me to be with one of those guys to be able to do that, it's really cool. I got through the back, and everybody was just giving me a round of applause,
Mhm.
standing up for me. So
Yeah.
and like people who I am fans of, like coming up to me and just giving me so much praise. It's so crazy. It's awesome.
So who do you want to work with in AEW? I know this will air after your match with Garcia. How was it being able to work with that guy?
That Daniel Garcia
That
is
Daniel
definitely
Garcia guy.
a sports entertainer, man.
Yeah.
He's just
Those leather pants. How was he moving in those leather pants with you? I mean, they were really eye-catching.
yeah. The ladies might like him. Who knows? He seemed to be moving all right with them. They felt nice. I
Good.
got to feel them. When I got kicked in the face, I got a little
Mm,
feeling of them.
yeah.
But yeah. If I were in the '80s, I'd probably wear those too. But
Hey, whoa, leather pants are in no matter which year we're in. Leather pants always work. I don't know if you want to wrestle in them, so to speak, but
they're very in.
yeah.
He was getting a lot of compliments on them, honestly. Like, yeah. So Sammy looked out for getting those for him because
Yes,
he made him look good.
he
But
did.
he was definitely like one of the guys on the list that I did want to work with, and I was very happy with how our match came out. It was a very fun time. I can't believe I main evented a Rampage. That is so crazy to me.
Right?
Like to like not only like have my match on Rampage, but like Tony gave me the chance to main event it. Like that's so cool to me. It
It's
was like it was
huge.
yeah, it was like flying in this week. I was just so excited to just like have everything unfold for the week, and it came out very well, and I was very happy with how our match went.
I know Tony is obviously like a very busy guy between AEW, the Jaguars still in it in the NFL playoffs, but have you had many conversations with him? I mean, obviously after your match with Jericho, but for him to put you in a position like that in a main event of Rampage, has he talked about, his vision for you or how he sees you kind of fitting into the world of AEW?
Well, I've talked to Tony before, just about other stuff, and it's always been never so much like one on one. I've really talked to him. Like I talked to him after the QT match one on one. I just thanked him. I just
Yeah.
thanked him for giving me like so much time out there and an opportunity to like showcase myself. And we were both very excited about it. Like he was very excited. He loved the match that I had. But I've never really had the chance to talk to him of like what his ideas were for me and what he thinks will be like the future for me here.
Yeah.
So there's no telling. I don't know yet. Maybe one day we'll have that conversation. But
Maybe.
I've talked to him before and gotten to get to know him a little bit. And he's a really cool guy. He's kind of just like one of us like in the back.
Mm-hmm.
He's I love how much of a fan he is of wrestling
Yeah.
because his passion for it. It's just like it's good to work for a guy who has that passion for this like that.
Yeah, and as much as you can, even just saying like what his vision for you is going to be, et cetera, the really great thing about AEW is that so much of that really does land on your shoulders. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What kind of matches do you want to have? And I mean, yeah, again, it's so early on into your career in AEW. We've got such a insanely stacked roster. Holy shit. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, what all do you want to achieve in your career? What do you want to be known for?
I want to wrestle to inspire other people. That's a big reason why I do this. Like, especially like the way I came in as just like another extra. Like, I feel like some people they don't want to like really do extra work for dark because they like don't want to go out there and get squashed or whatever.
Why?
But
Why do they care? That like that's so stupid.
yeah, it's so stupid. Like, wake up, like get over yourself. Like, but
Yeah.
and
You'd
like I
rather
think and
not
like
have any opportunity and you'd rather just stand there in your gear in the back rather than actually having a match and getting some kind of an opportunity and making something of it.
yeah, yeah. No, like and like for like me, like to just like be one of those guys that was just like an extra talent coming in and then get an opportunity to like really like showcase myself and like excuse me, have an actual match. Like any extra talent coming in should like look at that and be like, like I can make the most out of this opportunity and like whatever I get out there, whether I get to wrestle for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10, like make the most out of it.
Yeah.
Make people recognize you because it can really lead into something great. And it's exactly how it worked out for me. I worked a couple like dark matches and I just was helping other guys look good and putting them over.
Yeah.
And then eventually it was like, all right, now let's see what you can do. And let's, not just have you make this guy look good, but let's also make you look good at the same time. And you gotta like, you gotta crush those moments because you never know like what can happen out of it. It's crazy for me because I see like, the extras coming in and whatnot. And I just like, I want to tell them like, make the most out of this tonight because,
Yeah.
you can really make something happen. You never know. You never
That's so
know.
like disappointing to like hear to him. Like you're there as an extra. You should be like thrilled that somebody wants you to actually have a match rather than being like, well, I don't want to go out there and lose. What? That's
Yeah.
come on. That's
Yeah.
what the opportunity is. You have to make the most of literally anything. Even if you're like doing a promo and you have one line, like be impactful with your time on camera in whatever capacity in front of the crowd, whatever it is, to make an impact because those moments just don't always come along.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah. But
Um,
but
go ahead.
sorry. No, I was just gonna say, even just like the youth, like little kids, like I remember like me like watching certain people like as a little kid, and I would be like, damn, I want to grow up just to be like them. Like I really want to have that impact on certain kids as well.
Yeah.
And I see it. I see little kids that are huge Andretti fans, and like they tell me like I want to be just like you, or like they cut their hair like me or whatever. Like they're like to have an impact on people like that. Like I think like being a good example for the youth is very important. It's a very important thing because we are their examples and we have to lead by good examples. So
Yeah. Did
now,
you feel that responsibility with your brother and your sister?
my sister's older,
Okay.
so she's like, yeah, she led by example for us. But for my brother, most definitely,
Yeah.
he plays football and he did wrestling before, but he didn't like it as much. And but he definitely looks up to me big time. And wrestling's not really his thing. Like professional wrestling, he's not really into it.
Hmm.
But he loves watching me wrestle. Like he would come to my shows on the
Yeah.
independents all the time, and he would try to act cool like he wasn't into it sometimes. But I know damn well he was having a
Yeah.
good time. Yeah, because he's 16 now, so he's at that cool kid age.
Yes. Oh yeah, he certainly is. He's locked into it right now. So your time working for GCW, CZW, why were those great places for you to really kind of cut your teeth?
I anywhere that would just give me an opportunity to like I said, showcase what I can do.
Yeah.
Because what I really liked on the independents is like if a promoter would just let me do what I want out in the ring. Like I've had certain people tell me, "Oh, you need to be a heel. Like you'll be a way better heel, or your name shouldn't be Action. Like no one's gonna be chanting Action out there." And then like I would like because I've had certain situations where people tell me that, and I'm like, "Let me do my thing. Let me go out there, be Action and ready, and I will get those people behind me. Like I will. Like just let me do my thing." And
Yeah.
they would let me, and I'd come back to the back and like in a most humble, polite way, I told you so. Like you shouldn't try to control somebody like too early on in their career. Like
Yeah.
obviously, good guidance is good to have, but you shouldn't try to control somebody. But yeah, I worked at GCW one time. I wrestled a scramble match there. The crowds there in Atlantic
Those
City, like
crowds are
specifically where I
insane.
was.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The Nick Gage and Moxley match, like that intro,
Lord
I
have
sometimes
mercy
like
on our souls.
yeah, I can only imagine. But that intro of them just like doing the like the in-ring announcements for them and like the MDK all day, like
Yeah.
that is crazy, right?
It's
And
nuts.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good atmosphere in there. And yeah, I wrestled a couple good matches in CZW. I had the opportunity to wrestle Rich Swan.
Hmm. Yep.
He's a guy I wrestled him twice, and he changed me as a wrestler. I feel like he really like got a little bit of like looseness out of me because he's just so out. That's an entertainer right there. If you want to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
whether it's 15 people in that room or like 500, he is entertaining the hell out of those people.
Yeah.
And yeah, at my wrestling school, MCW, I had a good couple of opportunities where I got to work with some like really big names. Like I wrestled with Brian Cage there. I wrestled with Scarlett Bordeaux like as like
Oh,
one of her
cool.
first yeah, like one of her first indie appearances after like getting released the first
Yeah.
time, like was wrestling with me. Like
Oh,
she
that's
didn't wrestle with me.
awesome.
She was like just like my little like my manager, but she
Yeah.
fire hit a fire Canadian destroyer in the match that yeah, that was pretty badass. So
That's
that got a lot of
awesome.
hype. Yeah. So just
Who
being able to get it. I'm
so,
sorry.
uh, no, it's there's a little lag in between our time. That's why I know we keep kind of stepping on each other.
Yeah.
You're in a very unique position right now because you have so much opportunity in front of you. I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of people kind of trying to get in your ear and give you advice, and that's great. But it seems like you've got a pretty good head on your shoulders in terms of like who you are, what you're trying to accomplish in the ring. Who are some of the people that you do go to for advice?
Um, Mark Henry's a big one. He's a guy that like really like believed in me. Like
Mhm.
he's one of the guys that wanted to like see me be able to do some stuff when I was wrestling those dark matches. So Mark Henry's been a big help. Jerry Lynn. Like he's a guy I had like a really good conversation with him right after the Jericho match,
Hmm.
and just at previous matches after, he's really helped me out with a lot. So and just like other producers back there helping, like certain things in the matches, like that could be better, like maybe you should do this here or there. Like it's been a lot. And sometimes I'll even go to Chris and ask for advice. Like,
Yeah.
as much as he probably despises me, I'll still say, hey, what do you think about this? Like
Sure, he
but
can, he can put egos aside for a second and give back to the wrestling community.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's been a lot of good guys there in AEW. There's
Yeah.
guys who've been there for like almost 3 times as long as I've been doing this, if not more, like 5 times. There's guys who've been around for so long.
Yeah.
So to have guys that have like that knowledge and just have been around this business for so long, it's good to have guys like that around you that you can learn from.
With our current roster, what is your dream match?
Damn, that's hard.
I know.
That's a hard one. Dream
We are
match.
stacked in the front and the back.
Ah, man. There's see a couple guys I have dream matches with, but they're like kind of in like a tag team. But man, I don't know if I could say like a number one dream match because there really is so many guys I want to work with in there. So
Sure.
many. But I think like wrestling against like Brian Danielson would be really, really cool. Like I know everyone probably says that. Like
How can
it's
you not, though? I mean, it's, of
yeah,
course, people say that for a reason.
yeah. But like he's definitely a guy, but like Darby Allen is one I would really like to work against. Adam Cole just came back. I think it'd be
Yeah.
really cool to work with him. So there I definitely have a list of guys. But those three like are definitely up there for sure.
So, in a world of many great wrestlers, many of them signed to AEW, and I'm sure there's many other people around that we don't even know about yet that are
Yeah.
great technical wrestlers. You're great in the ring. You've got all of the tools, all the skills. How do you manage to kind of break away from that pack? I feel like there was something, when you came out, and I was sitting next to Mark, as I said. I don't know if it was Mark that was saying this to me, but he's like, yeah, I mean, there's lots of great wrestlers, but something about you is different and stands out. What do you think that is?
Thank you for saying that. That's really cool to hear. Um, I think it's a lot of things, like whether it's like your look, whether it's just like, like my hair, my facial features, and my body, like being in, the best shape that I can be, and just going out there and connecting with the fans as well. Like I really try to engage with people as much as I can because that's who we're doing it for.
Yeah.
So, like yeah, you can do you can have like all the cool moves and stuff and cool gear, but it's definitely a big part of it is engaging with those fans and making them feel something. Like, and a lot of these good wrestlers that like we're talking about, they do that. Like, but I think that is a very important part of like standing out and just being a character, like being somebody who like can talk well and not just go in there and have banger matches, but
Yeah.
you have to be an all around, good. Right? There's so many aspects to this. There's so many like just like the gym itself, you have to love the gym as much as you love wrestling because it's so important to like keep your body in shape. Like
Hmm.
just not just so you look good out in that ring, but also like so you're not like getting injured every week. Like it's good to keep your body
Yeah.
strong. So
Yeah. No,
yeah.
certainly. And like, I mean, kind of going back to what I said at the beginning, it's like, watching you in the ring was great. But I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to grab this guy and grab like a promo with him. I want to hear from him after his match. And instantly you were like, here's the camera. I know what I'm saying. This is what I'm doing. I've got my catchphrase. You had all of the things together. Who do you like promo wise?
Ooh, I like a lot of guys promo wise, but it's the same thing as saying like about wrestling, like Danielson. Like I love watching the Rock promos. Like the
Sure.
Rock promos are hilarious to me. I like watching John Cena's promos as well. He's very good on the mic, and just like John Cena as a wrestler, that's another one who I loved watching growing up. I also had the armbands for him as well, like the C
Yeah.
Nation, like
Yeah.
the armband he wore around his bicep, but would
Yeah.
fit around your head.
Yes. Like legit. Yes.
Yeah. So like, yeah, and he had like some cool character development with like the thugonomics, and then
Mhm.
going to like his whole, never give up, you can't see me deal. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool because he kind of played like him on the mic. It's two different like people, like who his characters were at first,
Yep.
like the cocky rapper at first, and then just the never give up that everybody was behind. So, and then Stone Cold as well. Love his promos also.
It's really cool watching people be able to like adapt and change throughout their careers. And, obviously Chris is one of the greatest to ever do that, to adapt and change. Cause I mean, I think I don't wrestle, so I cannot speak exactly to that nature, but like you can fall into like a comfortable spot where you're like, I've got it down. I know what I'm doing, but it's like trying, you got to not be stagnant in what you're doing, and to be able to watch people kind of like change their characters up, change their gear up, change their style up a little bit. It's just like this ever evolving character. There's always just so much to think about, a lot to
Oh
think
yeah.
about.
Oh
Yeah.
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 There's no telling who Action Andretti is going to be, 3 to 5 years from
We don't
now,
know. We don't
yeah,
know. We
maybe
don't
i'll
know.
maybe I'll be wearing black leather pants 3 to 5 years from now,
Ooh, let's
you know
go.
yeah.
Order them and just keep them in the closet. You never know. You might need to bust them out. Who can
Yeah.
say? Well, listen, dude, I'm really happy that I got to have you on here, got to learn a little bit more about you, where you come from, what you do, what you want to do. It's great to see what you're bringing to the table already. And yeah, I can't wait to see what the next 3 years look like, the next 5 years look like. The future is looking good for you, kid.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's great to be on here. I'm
Yeah.
glad that, I can make you a fan of my work, and thank you for being in there, supporting me, and just like shouting me out on your Twitter. Like when I saw that tweet, I came up to you and
Yeah.
told you how much told you how much that meant to me. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a cool road I've been on. I got my own music now. I got my own theme song that just came out like a week or two ago. So that's really cool. It's on Apple Music. Like just
Did
to
you
be able
have
to
much
type
say
in.
in that? Did you get to hear it ahead of time?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I got a lot of say in it, and I loved it a lot. So it
Hell
was it,
yeah.
it was really cool. So I had a song come out, and then I had a T-shirt just come out as well. So that's pretty
Yay.
sick.
All right, we're moving and we're
And
shaking. Next, it'll be the video game. It'll be the action figure. It's all coming up, Action
yes,
Andretti.
yeah. Do you by chance want to see the T-shirt before we go?
Oh my God, do you have it? Yes, please. Oh, see, guys, he is always ready. Action Andretti is always
Always
ready.
ready.
That's a
Yes,
great
this is the new
shirt.
T-shirt. Yes, yep. I wanted to be able to show it on the podcast today, but
Double
get
A.
yeah, get the Action Andretti shirt at aewshop.com. It should be out on stores right now. So to have my own T-shirt and have my own theme song, that's really cool. It's how you know we're doing good things.
You're a pro, dude. You're a
Heck
pro.
yeah,
You got it down
heck yeah,
pat.
yeah, buddy.
Thanks, dude.